off we go from Seattle. Now a crease here as he's past the 30. And he's going to wind up bringing this one inside the 45-yard line.
It's tough enough to play defense anyway, but after a return like that, now your mindset has to change a little bit. Instead of going out and just getting settled in the first few plays, you have to be prepared for just about anything.
Now here are the Seahawks in great shape to start their first drive. As we take a peek at Sam Darnold, the former USC Trojan and third pick in the 2018 draft.
And the thing with Sam Darnold is we know the skill set is there. May not be the most mobile or strongest arm quarterback in the league, but usually plays with really good poise and at his best, like a point guard in basketball, able to move around and distribute the rock.
Only a couple for him there on the game's first play, and it's second down.
It's second and 8.
To throw is Darnold. And that nearly an interception here on this opening drive, but he gets a reprieve. It's third down.
But when you're going up against a talented receiver like that, you just know that they're going to bring more people to him, right? They're going to double cover him every chance they get.
I think that is what we're going to see all game long. An early taste of that double, maybe even sometimes triple coverage we might see.
Yeah, I think what they're counting on, his talent to sometimes beat that double coverage. You get a sense of what this game plan might be. They think they can take a few home run shots against this defense. They tried it there on the opening drive, but that ball's incomplete.
And on their first drive, the offense staying out there. They're going to go for it on fourth. They snap it. They're going for it. Here's Darnold. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And they move this all the way down to the 9. Wow, first and goal, and defensively, all they can do is shake their heads. Not only did they allow the conversion, but a big play as well. Here's Walker. Now he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down.
When a draw works, it can be a thing of beauty. But when it doesn't, oh, it can be ugly. And in this case, loss of yardage ugly.
Again, Walker. And he will score. Touchdown, Seattle. Ken Walker, a 10-yard touchdown run. And the Seahawks will...
You get in a second and long situation down here in the red zone, I'd say most defensive coaches would think pass, let's bring some pressure. So this is kind of a tendency breaker here to hit him with something on the ground, and he'll take it all the way into the end zone.
Jason Myers now for the extra point. And this will give the Seahawks a 7-0 lead. So the drive there took 6 plays. And it was Ken Walker finishing things off with a touchdown run.
Jason Myers to kick off for Seattle.
And after the touchdown, here's Myers to boot it away. And that one not returnable. It's going to be spotted up at the 30-yard line. Here comes the Ravens on offense, and the man in charge from Louisville, the former MVP, Lamar Jackson.
And he remains the league's premier rushing threat and one of the biggest playmakers among quarterbacks. His goal each and every season, continue to expand his game as a passer and become well-rounded. All those highlight reel plays you see, they come off the fact that he can run it, throw it, and scares defenses every time he takes a snap.
Devin Witherspoon takes him down defensively. They work now on 2nd and 9. They'll run it again with Henry. And he'll grab a gain of 5 out of this up to the 41-yard line.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
In search of 4 yards here to pick up the first down. And he'll get it into territory just across midfield at the 49. That one will go for 9 yards and a first down on the keeper.
The Baltimore first down. A gain of 9 yards. First down.
They'll bring the tight end in motion right. They go play action now. Jackson. That ball caught. It's Mark Andrews, the tight end. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. 12 yards to pick up there. Good for a Raven first.
Well, first drive here and the first time that we've called the big tight end's name, but I can assure you this, Charles, it won't be the last.
No, it won't, because when he gets going, now it opens up opportunities on the perimeter because that'll draw the defense towards him in the middle of the field. Now your wide receivers will get involved as this game goes on.
2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
With his size, he's a tough man to bring down, but they do a nice job there stopping his progress and not allowing him to get back to the line of scrimmage.
So the first down run lost a couple. Now they come up 2nd and 12. Jackson from the shotgun. They shakes it off. That's complete. It's Zay Flowers with it. They'll wind up getting 7 on the play. And it brings up 3rd and 5 now.
And it's third down.
Now it's Jackson. That's complete. It's Rashad Bateman. And he will have a Ravens first down. He needed 5. He got it barely, as it will officially go down as a gain of 5 yards. Solid opening drive so far, Charles. They've moved this football into field goal range, but you know that they want to cap this off with 6 and not 3.
Absolutely. As one of the better coaches in the league always tells me, on offense, I want their body blows all game long and finish it with uppercuts. Well, here are the body blows right now. He's hoping in one uppercut will take care of the end of this drive.
2nd and 11.
Brings up 2nd and 11. On the Seahawks 27.
Jackson. They set up the screen for Henry. After 7-0 on EA Sports. Raven football here as we begin quarter number 2. As they've got it with a 3rd down coming up. We'll see what they have drawn up here. A little bit behind the line. 12 yards needed to gain a first down. Throwing is Jackson. Quick hitter here. It's complete. And this will not get close to the first down marker as he's brought down at the 26. So the completion good for just 3. And that's going to make it 4th down.
On for the Ravens field goal. A 43-yard attempt.
And his kick is indeed good. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3.
So both teams come away with points on their opening drives. Now they still trail. They answered the touchdown with a field goal, but at least able to break that goose egg here early.
And that is what's important, right? Because they didn't let that initial touchdown go unanswered. Took the ball themselves, moved it downfield, and put it through the post for 3 points. Game on.
Seattle's offense coming back onto the field, ready for their 2nd drive.
This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown on their last time out, looking to repeat that in Charles's defense. They were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a battle of wills in a lot of ways because you know they're both motivated, they both game plan for this drive, and they both have specific outcomes in mind. To me, it just comes down to who can execute better and which side can step up and assert its will over the other.
And this one nearly picked off. Kind of surprising to see a defender of his caliber let it get away, but get away it does, and it's 2nd down. They'll let this go deep for Smith and Jigba.
That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
They decided the opportunity was there and launched a deep ball, but he was unable to get away from the defender, couldn't create space, couldn't uncover the end of the route, and that one winds up incomplete.
Darnold. And it's incomplete, broken up. But there is a flag down. Let's see what that's about. So instead of fourth down, first down.
Well, so much for winning the down you put a lot of emphasis on, because third down is key for offense and defense. Instead, you're going to stay on the field and start a new set of downs.
Darnold now to throw. And he's got Smith and Jigba. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. 23 yards, the final tally.
Brandon, what's even more impressive is that came against double coverage. He gashed them with that reception, even with the extra focus that he drew from the defense.
Here we go, set.
Here's Darnold. And a dangerous throw there, incomplete. He threw that into coverage. It was nearly intercepted. 2nd and 10. Back to throw, Darnold. On the RPO, he'll keep it himself. It's just a gain of a couple there on the scramble, and now it's third down.
They made a nice effort to stick him with a loss for that play, but it's going to take more than that to keep him from advancing the ball. Should be an entertaining battle anytime he tucks and runs over the second half of this contest.
Here's Darnold. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game.
Partner, you know what I'm going to say before I even say it.
Yeah, you just cannot take a sack in that spot.
You're exactly right. You can't take a sack in that spot. Potentially now, a 3-point swing right there.
There again to try once more. Got a man, it's caught inside the 10. And down he goes, taking it inside the 10, just shy of the 5 at the 6.
First down. First and goal at the 6-yard line.
I tell you what, this is not for the faint of heart right here. Fourth down, this is taking a big risk, but it's as good a play call as you can imagine. And the defense just not able to come up with the stop they needed. And this is not just a first down, but a big play as well.
Walker now on 1st and 10. And a minuscule gain of maybe a yard from the 6 to the 5. And the ball smack dab on the 5-yard line. Here's 2nd and goal.
At the Ravens' 5-yard line.
Sticking with Walker on 2nd down. And he gets halfway there from the 4 to the 2 on a gain of 2. Big play coming here. It's 3rd and goal.
It's now 3rd and goal.
Walker will score. Touchdown, Seattle.
So his strike have to love watching the way he can create space down near the goal line, and he's able to take it into the end zone.
Now Myers for the extra point. And this one's right through to make it a 14-3 ball game. So that one a pretty time-consuming 10-play drive.
And it was Kenneth Walker finishing things off with a touchdown run.
Jason Myers to kick off for Seattle.
And after the touchdown, here's Myers to boot it away.
And this one definitely not in the landing zone. In fact, it's over the back line. So this is going to come out to the 35.
Baltimore set to take over here for their second possession of the game. Their deficit is 11, 14-3, and needing to get something going here as they come up on 1st and 10. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. 1:57 to go in this first half on EA Sports.
Let me see, Ray. 180.
Now it's Jackson. On the throw, led him too much that time. It's incomplete.
There's an incompletion, partner, and the struggles through the air continue because so far their lack of passing production has led to a lack of points.
Here's Jackson. And this one's going to go the wrong way. Losing yardage back at the 42.
We'll see where they go for this play call. Obviously tough in this spot, backed up.
They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. And they'll bring him down right at midfield, and he is well short of the first down. Fourth down, and out comes Jordan Stout here to punt. Back deep, Rashid Shaheed. This is taken around the 12. They'll score that a 36-yard punt. And it'll be Seahawk football, 1st and 10.
The Seahawks going to take over now late in this first half. And with a 14-3 advantage already, we'll see how much they want to try to push things, if at all. Now he'll tuck this and run. They'll let this go deep for Smith and Jigba.
And that is incomplete. Took a shot there on first down, but he couldn't reel it in. After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. Now Darnold.
They'll let this go deep for Smith and Jigba.
And this will be caught at the 30. And all the way in, touchdown Seattle.
Jackson, Smith, and Jigba.
An 80-yard touchdown.
And the Seahawks will extend their lead in the final minute of the half. So, Charles, that's 3 touchdowns on 3 drives, and it's just been an offensive barrage so far.
Great word, partner, using barrage right there. I'm going to add another word if you don't mind. How about perfection? No surprise that they're leading right now. Absolute dominance throughout this ball game and no signs of slowing down.
The extra point now coming from Myers. And it's 21-3. The quick strike ability certainly intact there. 2 plays, 80 yards to score.
Jason Myers to kick off for Seattle.
And after the touchdown, here's Myers to boot it away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback.
The Raven offense going to take over late in this first half. And with a 3-score deficit staring him in the face, they might have to press the issue here and try to get points out of this drive.
Jackson now.
That's into the hands of Flowers over the middle.
And they've got it well across midfield down to the 40 before it's all said and done. Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 26 seconds to go until halftime.
1st and 10 at the 40-yard line.
To throw is Jackson.
A short one there, caught by Likely.
And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10.
A gain of 13 yards.
Jackson.
First down, Ravens.
Throwing into traffic there, and that's complete. The Ravens going to use the 2nd of their timeouts. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime.
At the Seahawks 20.
Here's Jackson to throw. Under pressure, and down he goes. They sack him back at the 36. Ravens going to use their 3rd and final timeout.
So as they talk it over, we step aside.
Now after that sack, it's 3rd and long for Jackson and the Ravens. Now back to throw.
A throw left sideline falls incomplete.
Sometimes it's just not your day. There's another failure right there on 3rd down.
A 53-yard attempt.
And this one looks good. It is good. Right down the pipe. And that'll get the deficit down to 15.
So a big play before the end of the half to get them into this spot, and they cash in with 3.
How about the 1-2 to the solar plexus on that one? The big play, the field goal, not much time left on the clock. That's the way to go into the half.
On the return, the Seahawks take over 1st and 10 at their own 35-yard line.
A final shot before the break. Darnold. Now a run here off the RPO. He'll keep it. He'll let this go deep for Smith and Jigba. And that is incomplete. So halftime here out west. Let's go east. That's where we find Scott Hansen with our EA Sports Halftime Report.
All right, Brandon, thanks much. Welcome in, everyone, to the downtown Orlando studios. Scott Hansen and crew with you for a short and sweet halftime, as this game's had a little bit of everything to it. We'll find out which side can establish some tempo in the third quarter as we're ready to kick off the second half. Back out to our commentary team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Scott, thank you very much. We are ready to get started here with the second half.
Jason Myers to kick off for Seattle.
The Ravens set to receive the football, trailing here as we resume action in the third quarter. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Out come the Ravens now. They'll go on offense first here in this third quarter. In the first half, they struggled a little bit to keep pace offensively, CD, down 2 scores here. So how do they make some changes coming out of the locker room?
Well, they've studied what they did in the first half. They've seen what the defense is throwing at them. Now they want to have a plan of attack against it. So you come out, you're not going to get all the points back on one drive, but get started on it. Start chopping into that lead, and maybe it'll inspire your defense to help out as well.
50-yard line.
They keep it with Henry on first down. And he's going to be hemmed in and brought down right at the line of scrimmage. So from just across the midfield stripe, here's 2nd and 9. Jackson, option right. And this time he's able to take it down to the 42. The keeper gets him 7 that time, but it'll lead to a 3rd down. They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the first here. They'll try to run for the first with Henry. And this is not going to be enough. Was in search of 2 yards and only got halfway there.
Well, they still have time to get him established, but in my estimation, they've got to pick up the urgency here. They've got to get quickly in and out of the huddle and run off a bunch more plays.
Still just the third quarter, but they've got to make something happen. I think they know that. They're going for it on 4th. They'll try and run the option. And a very determined run there as he'll take this all the way down to the 27. Good effort. 4th down, no problem. Just a ho-hum pickup of 14 to keep the offense on the field.
1st and 10 at the 27-yard line.
Now Jackson. Now he's going to step up and run. Opted to run for it. The decision a good one. Picking up the first, getting 14 yards on the scramble. All runs on this drive so far. It's 1st and 10. Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. And he's going to be taken down, sacked back around the 18-yard line. The sack recorded. It's a loss of 5, and now it's 2nd down. Another try after the first down sack. Jackson under pressure. They got him again. Leonard Williams, the former number 6 overall pick, got the sack that time. Now after that sack, it's 3rd and long for Jackson and the Ravens. They're going to look to throw. And he knocks the ball away, and it
falls incomplete.
I certainly like the idea. You're down on their side of the field. Get your big play guy involved. That time, they put one up for him to see if he can pull it down in the end zone. But the coverage was good, and it winds up incomplete.
So a good drive there to begin quarter number 3, but they're only able to shave 3 points off the lead.
Well, something's better than nothing, all right? They didn't play particularly well in the first half, but they definitely need him to step on the accelerator now and play a whole lot better.
And he nearly broke that for more, but as it is, still a good return. They'll start the drive right around the 37. Jackson, Smith, and Jigba and his offense ready to go once more here.
And I know that they've double-teamed him a couple times, but not a ton. Whatever they're doing isn't working. He's up over 100 yards. We'll see how they adjust.
And when they do that, they weaken their defense in other places as well. And how many times have we done games where we've seen a guy have a big game like this, but it's usually not by.
Well, this is taken in. It's complete. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35.
And now we get into the psychology of the whole thing, because a lot of teams with a 2-score lead in the third quarter, they almost become defensive with their offense, just playing not to lose. I think with this team, you got to figure at this point, this is a great spot for them to go into attack mode, really try to put the hammer down and finish this one off.
And this nearly an interception, but it's incomplete. Well, a turnover really would have helped him there, but not to be.
A play fake, and it's Darnold.
They'll let this go deep for Smith and Jigba. And, oh, it's incomplete. Oh, that would have been 6 points, but somehow he couldn't rein it in.
Brings up a third down and 10 yards to go.
To throw is Darnold.
They'll let this go deep for Smith and Jigba.
And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down.
That's some good closing speed there defensively, because that looked open for a minute. But that's great work with the ball in the air. Never gave up, converged on his man, and broke the play up.
They'll let this go deep for Smith and Jigba.
And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. The Seahawks go for it, but can't convert. And that will force a turnover on downs. Throwing to start the drive. Jackson.
This will go to Henry out wide.
And this winds up a pickup of 2, maybe 2.5 to about the 39.
Here's 2nd and 7.
Back to throw. Jackson.
He's got Derrick Henry again. Back-to-back catches.
Only able to gain a couple there. And now 3rd down and 6 to go. And they're not going to get to the line to run another play. So we will switch ends as the third quarter has come to a close. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now in Seattle, Washington. It's the Ravens with possession of the football, but trailing on the big board as we get set for the 4th. Jackson now from the gun on 3rd down.
That's going deep for Bateman.
And unable to connect, incomplete. Give them credit, they took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down.
And they're at the point of the ball game now where they've got to take some chances. They've got to put the ball in the air and just see what happens. But this defense knows that all too well.
Here we go. It's Jackson on 4th down. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. The time to pull out the stops is now, and they convert there on 4th down.
First down. A gain of 12. And the Ravens first down.
They'll look to throw here on 1st down.
Jackson going to keep it.
And he's taken down inside the 30. That one a broken play, but it ends up being a good play. The scramble goes for 20.
That's another Baltimore first down. It's a gain of 20.
10th carry now for Derrick Henry. And only a yard this time as he's taken down right around the 26. Seems pretty obvious defensively a key was stopping the run game. How have they done it so successfully?
To me, it seems that these guys really did a nice job of paying attention during the scouting report meeting. And you know, Brandon, when they do those, they talk about the top plays that these guys like to run. The best runs for the top running back. Those are the ones you focus on and want to take away. And they've done that pretty successfully in this game.
From down at the 12, it's 1st and 10.
Looking to throw. Jackson. And he'll maybe get back to the line of scrimmage, but no more than that.
Here's 2nd and 10.
Back to throw. Jackson. And he'll go down. Brought down at the 20-yard line. Now after that sack, it's 3rd and long for Jackson and the Ravens.
Oh, what?
And he's going to go down again. Now we're going to get a timeout here as it looks like there's a Seahawk injured on the play.
Well, now they're going to come out and take a look at this injury, and we'll be back in a moment.
And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter, let's see how this plays out. As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive.
Oh, it's intercepted. A drive killer there. Picked up by Devin Witherspoon.
Well, down 2 scores in the 4th quarter. It maybe wasn't quite desperation time, but it was getting close. And that interception there on the deep ball, that probably slams the door on their chances.
And maybe that was the thought process, that it wasn't quite desperation time. So now you take the shot before they're going to lay back any farther on defense. Go ahead and throw it downfield. Unfortunately, it didn't work.
And the Seahawks get ready to trot out on the field.
They have to like the position that they are in. 4th quarter, 2-score lead, and now the ball back after the INT.
After the interception, here's Darnold.
Now he'll tuck this and run.
Now he's going to throw deep right side.
And this is incomplete. Oh, he had 6 points right in his hands, but could not hang on.
Now it's Darnold.
Now he's going to step up and run. He'll let this go deep for Smith and Jigba.
Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts. And as the two teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break.
That's good for a Seahawks. 1st down. 1st and goal at the 3-yard line.
A good chance now to put this game on ice. This is 1st and goal.
This is Walker.
And the D not yielding much there. He's only going to get a yard to about the 2. The Ravens going to use the 2nd of their timeouts. And as the two teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break. From the 2 now, 2nd and goal.
Walker once more. Seattle. This one now, Charles, you'd have to think all but over.
I would agree with that because this offensive line, they've been physical from the first snap of the game, and it's taken a toll on this defense. And it was never more evident than on that play right there. They continue to move the line of scrimmage forward, and they open up enough space there to get their guy into the end zone.
Now Myers for the extra point. And that one makes this a 19-point game. A drive there of just 4 plays.
And it was Ken Walker finishing things off with a touchdown run.
Jason Myers to kick off for Seattle.
And after the touchdown, here's Myers to boot it away.
And that is over the back line of the end zone. It's a touchback, and they'll bring this out to the 30.
The Ravens offense now, they get ready to head back on the field.
Not an ideal way to end their previous drive. They threw the interception, Charles, after they had built up some momentum. They were moving the football, but something to at least build on for this offense as they run back out here.
Yeah, you're right about that. Up until that last play, everything was working pretty well for this offense, gaining chunks of yardage, getting first downs, really making a push for the end zone, and looked like they had a nice rhythm going. Now you got to have a short memory here. Don't focus on the interception. Focus on what came before it and get back to it.
And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage on the play back at the 46. Jackson. A quick hitter complete. It's Henry. And he'll get it down here to the 43. And this offense on third down today, not so hot. 2 for 9 to this point. This is 3rd and 10. Now it's Jackson. He'll try and do this himself. And he's going to get this inside the 30. Down under 2 minutes to go in this football game. So it's Raven football here as we welcome you back. They've got a 1st and 10 as they search for a late score. A first down carry for Henry. And trying to push forward, but he is going to be stuffed up in the backfield.
Brought down back at the 32.
Throwing is Jackson. And he's going to go down here, a sack. They push him back to the 34. Now after that sack, it's 3rd and long for Jackson and the Ravens.
3rd and long.
They'll look to throw. Jackson's going to keep it. And he gets it down to the 32. All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it.
A gain of only a yard. It's 4th down.
Got to try it here. He's back to throw.
That's going deep for Bateman.
And that's going to be incomplete. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And it'll be a turnover on downs. So they tried to go for it for pride, but it really wouldn't have mattered. This one, it was already determined.
No doubt about it. This one was over a while ago.
And Darnold wants to throw the football. And off his back foot, he'll heave this one deep. And it's knocked away and incomplete.
Well, they had that one snipped out defensively. That's a tough one to connect on when you got multiple defenders in the area, and it winds up incomplete.
And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down.
Brings up 3rd down.
Oftentimes when you're losing a game and the team's still throwing with this kind of a lead, you start playing a little more physically. And they took that opportunity right there to be extremely physical and force that incompletion.
They'll let this go deep for Smith and Jigba. He's got a first and maybe more.
And he will score. Touchdown, Seattle. A.J. Barner, 67 yards.
And the Seahawks are able to add on to that lead.
The extra point now coming from Myers. And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. The drive there only spanning 3 plays. And the Seahawks capping it off with a touchdown.
Jason Myers to kick off for Seattle.
And after the touchdown, here's Myers to boot it away.
And he brings us out past the 20 to the 24.
Here comes the Raven offense now, ready for another possession. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride.
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once. We were down huge, and someone said, "Coach, what do you want to call?" He just waved a hand like, "Who cares? Let's get out of here and do something some other time." But some teams like to do something at the end to feel a little bit better as they continue to move forward.
Yeah, probably just want to put this one behind them. Complete to Likely. And he is going to be stopped here for no gain, and that is going to be the final play of this football game. So the victory here for Seattle, and it was their defense that led the way, allowing just 3 points, that lone field goal in the entire second half.
And remember the old adage, offense sells tickets. Defense does what?
Wins championships.
And in this game, maybe a championship wasn't won, but a game was by the defense, right? Held them to just a field goal. That's a heck of a job. I mean, when they went out there with that determination and a pretty good game plan, pretty good idea of what they wanted to accomplish, just love the execution, love the tenacity, love the way they finished.
And for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports.